nerds, JJ Kymorist here. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm an author, and thus far I have been writing for about 3.5 years, and here on my channel I'm just kind of documenting my journey and, you know, my experience, triumphs, failures, and things like that, and everything that I've learned so far on my writing journey. So today I'll be filling you in on my quarterly update. I'm sorry I missed my last quarterly update, so this is quarter 2 and 3 for the year 2023. And so yeah, what I didn't tell you guys was that I was actually pregnant this past year. So I just recently had my daughter. So yeah, a lot of crazy stuff going on. I didn't really want to mention it on my social media because I'm more of a private person. But yes, everything went well. Baby girl's healthy. So yeah, I have a lot to talk about and also a lot not to talk about since I took a lot of time off the past 2 quarters. But let's get into it. Alright, before we get started, if you want to support what I do here on this channel, make sure you hit subscribe. Also feel free to join my reader community. Link is down in the description. From there you'll get access to bonus content, giveaways, etc., and you know, monthly newsletter from me. Also, just a plug for my book coming out this November. Release date is officially November 14th for my dark fantasy novel Trials for the Haunted. But I'm really excited for it to be out. It's been so much work. If you've been watching this channel the past year to past couple years, I don't know, when did I write the first draft? I'm not even sure, but it's a lot of work has gone into it. I'm really excited to see it finally come to print. Anyway, let's get into this quarterly update. So I last left off quarter 1 of 2023. And I left off telling you guys I had written draft 1 for book 2 in this trilogy that I'm writing, and then I went back and did some edits to book 1. And so I don't know how most publishers work, but my publisher was super cool with me going back and doing some edits to the original manuscript, just so that it fell in line with the things that I was going to do in book 2, make sure all the world building and foreshadowing was properly set up. So yeah, they were really cool with me going back and doing that, but I'm not sure if that's most people's experience as far as like traditional publishing goes. I am at a good spot because you know, they are a small press, so maybe they allow more things than, you know, like big publishing houses would. Anyway, my publisher really liked all the edits that I made. It wasn't a ton, but you know, little bits of things here and there. After I completed all of that, I took 16 weeks off of like no writing, nothing. It was like the last 2 months of my pregnancy and like 2 months after my daughter was born. So yeah, I did basically no writing, no nothing for 4 months there. Which is why I didn't really update you guys in quarter 2, because first of all, I hadn't really done anything, and second of all, I was super busy trying to get ready. So while I was taking that long break, my publisher was, you know, going through and doing the proofreading and copy editing for the manuscript, which of course takes a long time. And you know, she finally sent it back to me late August, I believe, sometime in August. But yeah, it was a lot of edits. And so I don't know how many times I've read this manuscript, but still there's typos, there are things that are just wrong. You know, it's just like you can never read it enough. You can never catch all the things. Anyway, there are a lot of changes. And, you know, a lot of suggested edits, which I accepted most of the edits, but I definitely did not accept all of them because some of them I felt were more of like a stylistic opinion on certain, you know, phrasing of things, which, you know, I don't know how it's supposed to go. I don't know if I was supposed to tell her that I was not accepting one of the edits. Like, I don't know if I was supposed to comment on that. I don't know. I didn't. I just declined the edit, you know, made sure it still read fine. It was like technically grammatically correct and all that, but if I just liked my the stylistic words that I had chosen more, then I just, you know, I didn't accept it. I don't know if, yeah, again, I don't know if I was supposed to tell her that or not. But yeah, that's all finished now. Another thing that I forgot to mention in this video was how many extra words I had in this manuscript. So like the final version that I sent her before the proofreading and copy editing stuff was 113,716 words. And then after I went through and did all the editing, taking out all the words that she suggested and all the different edits and stuff, it ended at 112,391 words. So that's a difference of, you know, a little over 1,300 words that were just extra. So I thought I had done that already when I did whatever draft number where I was like taking out all the extra words that were unnecessary, but clearly I did not take out enough, because yeah, there's plenty of extra words that were unnecessary. While, my publisher was working on the proofreading and copy editing, they were also designing a cover, and I was very fortunate to have 2 different covers that I got to choose from. I'll throw them up here. Initially, I really loved the black one for some reason. I don't know, just at first glance, I was like, oh, I like this one. But, after like really analyzing them and looking at them for a long time, I decided to go with the red one. I think the red one just, fits more with the fantasy concept that I have going, with the world building and the horror elements that I have going on. And what was really cool was what my publisher did was a social media campaign where people got to like state their opinion and vote on what cover they liked better. I think the general consensus was almost 50-50, but pretty much I think most people liked the red a little bit more than the black, which I agree as well. So really happy with my cover. I love that it's this like Quentin Tarantino like inspired old Western poster, because my book is set in a fantasy rendition of the Wild West, and so I really love that was incorporated in there, and I feel like it's a really unique cover, but it's not like so unique that it's like way out there and no one's gonna like it. I think it's eye-catching, and I like the the hands coming up at the bottom. That kind of implies some kind of dark horror elements that take place in it. So really happy with the cover. Yeah, my family actually had it put on a birthday cake for me, which was really fun. And I posted that video on social media, and then my publisher was like laughing at the placeholder quote that she put in there. So yeah, that brings me to other stuff that's going on with the whole book packaging, formatting type of thing, is that, I had to put together my advanced reader copy team, which, sometimes also called the street team, literary street team. So yeah, I put calls out to, people on my newsletter, people on Facebook, people on Instagram. I got a few from like my newsletter and Facebook and Instagram, but where I really found most of my street team, most of the people who are going to be getting a digital advanced reader copy, was actually Facebook groups. So as much as I don't really use Facebook, I love Facebook for their groups. I feel like their groups are so helpful, especially for authors. So I joined a couple of groups. It was like, basically, I forget what it's called. It's like fantasy ARC readers, and just general ARC and beta readers, a couple of those groups. And I just put out there a call, asking who would be interested, and gave a little synopsis of my book. And I actually had a lot of responses. I think I had about 20 or so responses from that post. And so that was super helpful. My street team would have been really small if it wasn't for those Facebook groups. So very thankful for those. And I'm really excited for, all these people to get my book and see what their opinions are. I'm also really terrified as well, because these are strangers from the internet, which is perfect because they are unbiased, they're not like my friends. So yeah, it's going to be a real test to see what people think of it. But yeah, hopefully they enjoy it. And yeah, if you're trying to build your advanced reader copy group, then I suggest you check out Facebook groups and just join a couple of those and then put out there. Because there are surprisingly a lot of people who love reading ARCs, which I didn't know was like a hobby of some people, which is really cool because it really helps out a lot of authors. So thank you to any of you if you are an ARC reader. Anyway. And thank you also if you're watching this and you are a part of my street team. Thank you so much. Anyway, so yeah, I was building my ARC team / street team, and I was also asked to make a list of authors who might be willing to blurb my book. I'm like, I don't think any of the authors that I read would be willing to blurb my book. But I made a list of all the authors who write in my genre, basically. I don't know if any of them will agree to read my book and or like it. So yeah, fingers crossed there if I get any author to agree to that. I tried to list, some mid-level / like maybe even some like small press indie authors on there, but it's hard to I don't know. A lot of the authors I read are like big name authors, and I'm like, they're never gonna have any time. But I put them on the list anyway, so we'll see what becomes of that. Yeah, I'm really kind of nervous about the whole like author blurb thing, because I have this like placeholder here to have a blurb from an author on my cover. I'm like, well, what if no one wants to blurb it? Which is fine. Like if it didn't exist, like it looks like this, it still looks like a great cover, but I would be a little bit sad if there was no blurb on the front. Anyway. Yeah, so then we finally get to what is going on currently is I just, my publisher just sent me the like formatted PDF version of the manuscript. And yeah, I found a couple more typos on it, because there's always going to be typos. You can't, you can't get away from it. Even, the big 5 publishing houses who knows how many people reading the manuscript, there's always typos. So yeah, got some of the typos taken care of. I had to write a new author bio because my old author bio was not exactly correct anymore, and I had to update my author picture because the original author picture was this one, which was taken for my senior pictures in high school 10 years ago, 10 plus years ago. So now I have this one, which a friend of mine took for me, and yeah, I think it's a vast improvement. It looks a little bit more professional too. And also I had to write my acknowledgements, which took me like a day and a half, because I'm like, oh, okay, I don't want it to be too long, because I hate little acknowledgements that are like way too long. But then I was like, well, I don't want to leave anyone out, so I kept it short and sweet, and hopefully it sounds okay. I don't know. I've never written acknowledgements before, so that was kind of a first time thing. I also had to write a dedication, which I didn't have to dedicate it, but I did want to. So luckily, of course, I didn't have to deal with any of the formatting stuff. My publisher is doing all of that for me, and they added in some really cool features to it, like the title page looks badass. And they also added like clickable links to, my YouTube and Instagram and website and stuff for the digital copies of the book, which I thought was really nice. And yeah, so that's basically what I've been working on, is like the finalization of the manuscript, trying to get together my street team, and basically now I'm at the stage where I'm trying to do some marketing for it. I'm not going to pay anything like crazy. I'm not going to pay for Facebook ads or any type of ads like that. I think my publisher does pay for some ads. I can't remember. I think they pay for Amazon ads. I don't know. I forget what they said. I'll have to ask them again. But they do pay for some advertising, but of course, advertising is always on the author, unless you're like some big bestseller and you're already going to be selling a ton of books anyway. So yeah, I'm going to probably be doing like a promo video and just, spreading the word on social media as much as I can. But yeah, official release date is November 14th, so I'm really excited we have a release date. There also is supposed to be a pre-order window as well, so I'm waiting to hear about that and when that's going to come to me. But and so yeah, that's just kind of where I am now. I am juggling a newborn. I guess she's not a newborn anymore. She's a little over 3 months, which is crazy. So yeah, juggling being a mom, while also trying to get in some writing. Basically, I only write with one hand now, because I can only write when she's sleeping, and she's always sleeping on me, so I have her in one arm where I'm typing with the other, and it makes typing very slow. And like the other day, my mom was holding her, and I was able to type with both hands, and I was like, oh my god, I can type so much faster with both hands. I kind of forgot that was a skill that I had. Anyway, I'm getting really good at typing with one hand though. So I'm juggling, trying to be a mom and trying to get some writing done on book 2, while also trying to figure out how to market book 1. So yeah, a lot going on. That's kind of why I haven't updated this channel. It kind of fell by the wayside and all this stuff I have going on. So sorry about that. This whole book release thing is taking up a lot of my time. But speaking of which, here's my self promo. My young adult / new adult. Technically, it's new adult. I put it in the age group of the like 16 to 25-year-olds. But my new adult dark fantasy novel is coming out. It is about a girl named Sin who is haunted by the ghost of her past lives, and to become an official citizen of her village, she must perform a human sacrifice. But, when things go horribly wrong, she is then forced to enter the Nightarian Trials, which is a deadly competition held in the land of perpetual night. And so, yeah, it has monsters, blood and gore, steampunk weapons, and a touch of romance, all set in a fantasy version of the Old West. So yeah, I hope you guys check it out. I will be updating you more on, all the things going on and doing more promo stuff here, so be prepared for that. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you want to support what I do here, again, like, share, subscribe, and also buy my book when it comes out. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.